Sound, Karma, Music, Podcast. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Welcome to Sound Karma Song Spotlight, episode 45, brought to you by one big web design firm based in Nashville and serving clients around the world, building and marketing affordable websites for everyone from small businesses to corporations to artists, bands, singers, and songwriters. Music inspires them. Let them create a website for you. For a free quote, visit onebigwebdesign.com. I'm your host, Big Zach. Song Spotlight is all about discovering new music and artists. We've packed a lot of music into this episode. This week, we're spotlighting 9 songs, including rock, dance, EDM, R&B soul, indie, pop, alternative, singer-songwriter, and electronic. All right, let's get to it. Nick Stadry is a rock artist from the UK. You know, when we're young, we're naturally drawn to things that interest us without realizing what we're doing. For example, if a young child is drawn to dancing or performing, they'll probably dance a lot or pretend to put on shows for anyone who will watch. If someone is interested in architecture, they may naturally start drawing buildings. If someone is drawn to music, they'll likely pretend to put on concerts for people or pay attention to music differently than most other people. If we pay attention to what young people seem drawn to, we can get a glimpse into their life's calling. Nick had a feeling he was into music at a very young age. His interest in music became obvious when he was only 5 years old. But 7 years later, things would take a dramatic step forward. His brother's friend taught him some basic guitar. Nothing too deep or intense, just the basics. Enough to plant the seed. And that's all it took. He'd been consciously presented with his life's calling. The rest is history. He just released his new 5-song EP a couple weeks ago. It's called Screwface, and it is available for download now. This is Nick Stadry with Station Street East. Uppermost is a well-known producer who we featured before. His latest project is something extra special. Anytime you get 2 uber-talented musicians in one room, magic can ignite in a hurry. That's exactly what happened on this collab. He's teamed up with new French producer Wonnie, who's based in LA. He's only 22 years old, but has a lifetime of influences to build his craft on. Everything from disco to acid techno to house. This song was almost one of those fate moments. It was just meant to be. He says, quote, "My idea for this track was to keep it pretty minimalist and let the melody tell the story through the song. After finishing the main idea, I sent it to Uppermost, and he added a lot of magic to the track with his well-known signature sound. Working with Uppermost on this track is a huge achievement for me, like a dream come to reality. I pumped Uppermost's music in my headphones every single day during high school, and I still cannot believe that we're releasing this track together." Uppermost is one of the most unselfish people in the music business. His goal is to help other musicians. He also wants to create music that lifts fans up. In such a negative world, his music's purpose is to project positivity that fans can inject into their own lives. He says, quote, "I like the idea that music can awaken our sense of freedom, making us more open to the present moment, less negative with ourselves. In the space of a moment, it can make you travel to a happy, positive, and inspiring place." This track is truly a magical collaboration between 2 amazingly talented producers. It was just released a few weeks ago, and it is available for download now. This is Uppermost with Wonnie with Pure. Kane is an iconic R&B soul singer that has redefined the genre. With more than 26,000 Instagram followers, it's clear that her music has made a real impact on fans all around the world. She's known to many as the VH1 songstress. Erica wrote the theme song for 2 television series on VH1, including Hollywood X's and Atlanta X's. She's had her music prominently featured on VH1, BET, and MTV. Her music has been featured in shows like Love and Hip Hop, Basketball Wives, and Single Ladies. She has the credentials and the talent to back her up as an international R&B sensation. We haven't even mentioned all the worldwide music chart success she's had. Erica Kane has been blessed with 10 #1 songs in the U.S. Her music is meant to inspire and empower people, especially women. Her talent as a songwriter and producer helped make her a living legend. This new track is a tribute piece written by Anthony Best, Faith Evans, Jennifer Lopez, Bobby Springsteen, Isaac Hayes, Mario Winans, and Sean Puffy Combs. So why record a song she didn't even write? She says, quote, "Faith is one of my all-time favorite vocalists, and this song has always spoken to my heart and soul. Recording this song brought back so many emotions that it just felt right. I hope that Faith and all her global supporters feel that I did this iconic R&B song justice." This new version features hip-hop artist Tbars. They just released it a few weeks ago, and it is available for download now. This is Erica Kane with Tbars with I Love You.
What is a girl supposed to do? I love you. I want you. I can't take it anymore. I love you. I need you. I can see
Jula is an Amsterdam-based singer-songwriter with one of the most angelic voices you'll ever hear. Since this is her debut single, you may not be familiar with her music. However, Jula is about to become a household name across the globe. She has a voice you cannot forget or get out of your head. Her celestial voice will impact your day whether you want it to or not. Jula is an artist that is human, just like the rest of us. We're all aware of the pressure social media can put on us and our self-image and self-worth. Jula is not immune to those feelings of inadequacy that many of us feel from social media platforms. We see perfect people and feel like we have to compete with that image, when in reality, it's impossible. We are who we are. We can't be anyone else. But when we feel like we aren't who we think we should be, it can be self-defeating. Jula got eaten by the pressure and those feelings until she became a mother. But becoming a mom is what gave her the freedom to step away from the social media rat race and focus on her new son. That also allowed her to regroup and reprioritize. As a result, she has taken complete control of herself and her self-image and self-worth. She's gone through personal growth and has changed her perspective on life, life's purpose, self-acceptance, and self-purpose. Julie uses her music to help others get through the same emotional crisis that is projected on millions of people on Earth. She's well-schooled in her field. Her studies of music have taken her around the world and include studying jazz vocals at the Conservatory of Amsterdam, the Rhythmic Music Conservatory in Copenhagen, and other locations like New York City. Make no mistake, Jula is an international superstar. This track was just released a few weeks ago, and it is available for download now. This is Jula with Leave. Is an alternative pop rock band from Vienna, Austria that has already gotten major attention worldwide. Their music has been featured on the soundtrack to Netflix's 13 Reasons Why, as well as several television and web-based commercials. They've also just signed a collaboration deal with fashion brand Booker NYC. They're also working with Coca-Cola. Band members Daniel, Johan, and Lucas have been friends since childhood. They had each been in other bands, but when they dissolved, the three friends decided to get together as a songwriting trio in 2015. They had simple goals. All they wanted to do was write songs. They had no desire to tour or play live anymore. However, when music is in your blood, you have no control over its ambitions. The appetite to play live again was thriving in their deepest souls. Hunger is a band that can do things that other bands have never even dreamed of. Here's how they sum up their new song. They said, quote, "It's about adventures, moments, and memories we've experienced and still want to experience in our lives. It's an anthem for going out and live and experience life and its freedoms. We wrote and recorded the song in a little hut in the Australian Alps. The gospel choir halfway through the song was recorded in a tiny kitchen and is basically just the three of us and our producer singing in hundreds of tracks." This song was just released on July 5th and it is available for download now. This is Hunger with Light It Up.
There's gotta be something. There's gotta be something that reminds me where I've been. Light it up, light it up. There's gotta be something. There's gotta be something that reminds me where I've been. Light it up, light it up. Fears, splintered, cracked the skin, I'm wounded. Blind, blinkered, cast aside, secluded. Keeping me trapped in a moment.
Jaco is a former 5-time world kickboxing champion who is now an amazing pop rock singer-songwriter based in London. The date was May 26, 1996. Ali was at the Kickboxing World Championship at the Island. It was a sellout crowd. Many people consider that fight to be one of the most legendary shows in the history of kickboxing. He won the championship. He was having the career of a lifetime. But Ali woke up one day and literally decided he wanted to pursue a career as a singer-songwriter. So that's exactly what he did. And he doesn't think much about his incredible success in 2 separate careers. He takes it all in stride. He views himself as just a normal guy. But he is nothing short of fascinating. His drive and determination to just live life any way he wants is inspiring, to say the least. If we were all as humble as Ali, the world would be a much more peaceful place. Over the last couple of years, he's put out several songs. This new track was written about his 16-year-old son. The song was just released last month, and it is available for download now. This is Jaco with My Boy.
What you standing strong when the road is long, when you feel like giving up, I will always be by your side. The mistakes you make and your heart might break, but your future will always be bright.
Simon Wilby is an incredibly talented singer-songwriter based in Yorkshire, England. Some have compared Simon to a combo of James Taylor meets Peter Gabriel. He's an inspiration for following your dreams, even when it's tough. He's been writing songs since he was a very young boy, but he kept most of his songs to himself. Several years later, as a grown man, he worked in construction during the day, but his passion for music never left. He kept writing. You know, construction is demanding. It takes a lot from someone in the field, both physically and mentally. But Simon had the strength, the clarity, and the determination to write music even while he was on his lunch break. It was only recently that he decided to go into the studio and lay down some of his tracks. And we're so glad he did. This track is on his Echoes in Time EP, and it is available for download now. This is Simon Wilby with A List.
Cut the grass for you. Brought you things when you were feeling blue. In the end, the blue was every day. Nothing that I did could take the pain away. I tried to make you smile.
Kitzel is a producer and composer from Canada. She started writing music when she was only 15 years old. Some artists take several years to find their sound, but Kitzel was on it from the start. She was instantly drawn to the ambient side of electronic pop music, but she put her own twist on it. She started creating her own sounds. She uses sounds you would never associate with musical creations, like gates, pottery, branches, coyotes, frogs, crickets, and birds. Then she layers her own haunting, amazing vocals on top of all that. But when you listen to her music, don't try to pick out these sounds. She doesn't just plop them into her tracks. She works with them. She massages them. She slows them down, reverses them, and distorts them. And a few are used in their natural state, so you probably won't be able to identify them as specific sounds. That's what makes Kitzel such a musical genius. She can hear non-musical elements in her mind and has the vision to manipulate them into a living, breathing layer of her music. So where does she get her inspiration for her music? About this song, she says, quote, "When I made this song, I was under pressure to write something new for a really creative, awesome fashion show I had just been asked to perform at. I'd been fighting with a different piece all that week, and then a couple days before the show, I scrapped that one and began Wizard Girls instead. I frantically produced and performed it with a lot of placeholder lyrics. It was heavily inspired by the models and designs in the show. I thought we looked like magical alien queens and ambassadors from a Star Trek meets Raymond cartoon or something." This song is on her latest album, 40 Moons That We Know Of. It is available for download now. This is Kitzel with Wizard Girls.
You feel the storm's coming, don't let it take us all. I wanna make it easy, I wanna help you grow. We could compete together, but from the search before, tell me what you want, I'm not a fool.
And finally, we have a bonus track from a rock band based in Italy called Pull. This band's sound is reminiscent of the early 80s rock band style, but they don't sound old or dated. They just have that cool 80s vibe. And they're starting to get a lot of recognition in Italy, the US, Canada, and the UK. This is the title track from their Recognize Me EP, and it is available for download now. This is Pull with Recognize Me.
Oh, baby, one day, when I recognize me. Another baby, one day, when I recognize me. And it will be so hard to believe your eyes. When I recognize me, and I stand on mine, it's kind of paralyzed. When I recognize me.
So there you go. That's this week's Sound Karma Song Spotlight, brought to you by One Big Web Design Firm, based in Nashville and serving clients around the world. Building and marketing affordable websites for everyone from small businesses to corporations to artists, bands, singers, and songwriters. Music inspires them. Let them create a website for you. For a free quote, visit onebigwebdesign.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the Sound Karma Song Spotlight podcast wherever you get your podcasts. If you have any suggestions for artists or songs you'd like us to highlight as a featured video, blog, or in a future podcast, let us know. Contact us at soundkarma.com. We think all music should be heard. Sound Karma. All music, all artists, all the time. Thanks for listening. I'm Big Zach. Over and out.